Hello, this is Mr. Mabry, and this is an introductory video on how to use your student laptops to record notes in Mr. Mabry's science class. So, what you're going to need to do first is become very familiar with Brightspace. To get to Brightspace, you can follow one of the links you might have put in your favorites bar, or you could go into learn.parkhill.k12.mo.us. It might ask you to sign in with your username and password that we gave you, and you're going to get to a screen like this. Now you're going to want to find your 7th grade science course with Mr. Mabry. Head towards the content that you want for the note taking you're going to take. And here I'm going to talk about the first set of notes we're going to take for the whole year. Here it is, our Part 1 Scientific Inquiry and Data Table Notes. Now, what we are going to try for the first time ever is to use a program called OneNote to take our notes in. So here's the video that I want to watch. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Because I find this screen sort of annoying, I'm going to, whoa, there's old school Mabry right there. I'm going to see if I can open it up in YouTube. There we go. I'm going to open it up there in YouTube and pause it. And now, I want to go here to my start menu, and I'm going to type in the words OneNote. There's my program, and I'm going to select it. Now, when I select it, it's going to fill my whole screen. It's going to sort of strip me out, right? Because I want it only to fill half my screen so I can watch the video on the other half. So here's the trick. Take your fingers, take your left hand, and you're going to want to hold the window button next to the Alt and the Control keys. And then you're going to want to toggle to the right. And that gets you to the left half of the screen. So now the screen is split in half. Then you're going to want to hit the F11 key, and it'll give you the other screens that you can put on the other half. These are the other windows I have open. So here I'm going to select and remember I hit the F11 key. I'm going to select the YouTube video that I want to watch. So now I can take notes as I watch this video. And if I want, I can drag this to the left or to the right, and it sort of adjusts my screen accordingly. So, in order to set up your OneNote notebook, I want you to left click here. And now I want you to click Add Notebook. And when you add a notebook, it'll give you the option to call it whatever you want. I think your default, it'll say your name. Here I played around, I added one for life ed. Here's one for science that I want you to add. So add a notebook and call it science. Then once you're in science, we're going to add a section. And that section is going to, it's going to be called Unit 1 dash, this is our inquiry unit. And you can hit enter. So now, this is for our first unit, and as our units go, we'll just add sections. Now this page, let's go ahead and name the page correspond with the module we're in Brightspace. So here we are on this module called Scientific Inquiry and Data Table Notes. So let's go ahead and call this Scientific Inquiry and Data. You know what? I'm going to do a second page for Data Table Notes. We're just called Scientific Inquiry Notes. And now we've named our page. Now, underneath our page is where I'm going to start recording the notes that I take. Now, the first thing you need to know is every single set of notes you take, the first thing you write down is what your learning goal is supposed to be. The cool thing about using OneNote is that you can type. Notice how I just immediately started typing LG for learning goal on my keyboard and it started to type. Now, normally I'm going to have the learning goal here on the page and just copy it down. I'm afraid my game isn't quite on and I didn't record it down already. So I'm going to cheat and go up to here. See, okay, where is my learning goal? Aha, I can identify terms of an experiment. So our learning goal is going to be, you can copy this with me, 1.2. I can identify terms of an experiment. You guys are going to need to type that in. Now, we're done with that. We're going to go back to our YouTube video that we're going to watch. And I'm going to go ahead and run me, old school me. We're going to play. Now, these are terms that you should be familiar with. Probably learn this in other science classes. Blah, blah, blah. So see, I just muted myself. I'm going to keep talking. And whenever I do a set of notes on PowerPoint, what you're going to want to do is, once it gets to, here we go, the first slide of me, let's put me back on. Hypotheses are never right or wrong. Students are always saying, oh, I got my hypothesis wrong. No, you didn't get it wrong. It's a prediction. And I have so many smart things to say, you're going to want to listen to them all. But here's how I would take notes when I do this. What I would do first is I would just copy everything I have down there in text. Now, you can open up a new box if you want. I would just keep writing in the same box, and it's just like Microsoft Word. So you hit, like, I hit Control B here to, like, see if I hit Control B again, it's not bolded. You can select this word, double click it, and now if I select here, I can choose a font size, so I can make that left click here. Ooh, let's make it bigger. Let's make it like size 13. Control B, I make it bold, and I come down. And then if I want to make it smaller, I don't want to draw. So you see there's all this functionality that if you double click here on the word, there we go, I got the right button now to show up. You can choose different font sizes and all sorts of fun things. Nice. So let's keep typing. So I want to type in a tentative testable prediction, neither right or wrong, only supported or not supported by data, avoid personal pronouns, I or we. And then you see I've got this formula here. If blank, then blank, because blank. And now, because I'm annoyed because that recorded everything bold, let's see if I can go back. Unbold me, please. Oh my. Unbold. There we go. Unbold. Annoyed misspelled word. Now I'm ready to listen to me talk, and maybe I'm going to highlight, so let's see. Let's see what I have to say.
It just means that the data you took in the experiment isn't supported. That's the more accurate way to talk about hypotheses. And then, this right here is a big one that's challenging for 8th graders. We're really going to try to avoid the uses of I or we when we write predictions.
Okay, boy, that sounds important. He says I need to highlight that. So now I come in here and I'm like, ooh, draw. And is there a, there's a highlighter. Exciting. And ooh, there's a thick highlighter. So he said, highlight this. I and we. That's real important. So I'm going to clue in on that. Let's go back to what he has to say.
Sure, fine. So instead of saying, I think this is going to happen, or I predict, we're going to say, this will happen, this prediction. You'll see an example here in a second to know what I'm talking about. Now, a great formula to use when you write hypotheses is the if, then, because formula. It goes something like this.
Anyway, you get the picture. What shows up on the screen needs to end up in your notes. You then have some options on like ways you can like circle things, you can highlight things, you can be like, woo, that was important. Here is, an exclamation point. And you got a lot of different ways to do this. You could watch the whole video once, then go back and type it all out and write it all out. You could pause it, write it, and then listen to it. It's just, you skin that cat how you want to skin it. And so you can use a combination of your keyboard. Let's get out of here. Exit draw. Once I'm out of the draw, I can just keep on going down. Go to the next slide. Oh, there's some blanks I need to fill in on that slide. Oh, there's some pictures. So you figure out how you want to get these notes down. Boy, that's funny. I can't wait to watch that. It's been a while since I've watched you do this. And that's how you use OneNote. When you're done with this first set of notes right here, it automatically saves. And then if I want to go to a new page, and I do my second set of notes, I'll write down data notes. And then I'll put the learning goal, which I'm sure I'll have updated by the time it's time for you to do these set of notes. So, I hope you see this is how the goal of this video is to teach you how to do split screen and sort of an introduction on how to use OneNote. We're going to use OneNote for this first unit and decide whether or not we like it and want to continue with it, or whether we want to do away with it. But you've got a set of notes to dive into, so I'm not going to hold you back. Please watch this as many times as you want to figure it out, and let's get cracking.